Alright, welcome back everyone to the Chupacabra's Lair coverage of E3 2014, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Project Beast, or better known as Bloodborne, the latest title from Software that takes after the Soul series. And Bloodborne is an interesting title. You find yourself in a newer, almost forgotten city on the edge of nowhere that has been infected by a bloodborne illness, thus the name, that has transformed the populace into roving packs of bloodthirsty monsters that want to kill any old outsider that comes their way and eat their insides, coupled with undead hounds and various creatures, along with other creatures from the mystical side of things like vampires, werewolves, and giant amalgamations of dead rotting zombie corpses. And I'm gonna say, this game is looking very cool so far. It's got a lot of what we've come to expect and enjoy from the Soul series, but at the same time, they're gonna have their work cut out for them, trying to figure out how best to delineate this from the Soul series. We've already seen a lot of fog gates and fog doors, and a lot of the same mechanics for combat and fire control and lighting stuff ablaze. So it's going to be interesting, and I think the main way that they're going to sort of address this issue is via a complete change in how you address combat, because much like an anime that deals in vampire hunting, you don't have a shield, but rather you have a giant cleavery weapon and a shotgun. And, you know, I'm okay with that, because a lot of people just would stereotypically just hide behind their shield for 20 freaking minutes and eventually whittle a boss down, and now you gotta be very careful about your dodging. They're forcing you into this hyper-aggressive role, or else you're going to end up very dead very quickly. So what do you think about that, Savvy?
Yeah, so my one thing that I really want to see out of this is for them to only have maybe the two weapons that they show in like the trailer, or maybe a few more, but not as many weapons and sort of ways to fight that they do in the Dark Souls series. I'd prefer if they had a small group of weapons that you can customize in different ways to influence your playstyle, rather than, you know, you can have a spear or a sword or whatever. So I think it would be one good way to kind of differentiate it from the Soul series, while also kind of keeping the lore more set in the game.
Right, and they're also bringing in a whole host of different typed NPC units that are going to try and kill you, which even the townsfolk, from the looks of the gameplay footage that we've seen from the E3 showcase floor, you see a lot of them are able to jump out of the darkness at you, you know, really unexpectedly. They can kind of gang up on you in packs and CC you while they make you quite dead. So you have to be, while more hyper-aggressive and kill things quickly, you have to be really careful on what packs of NPCs you do decide to engage with. We saw this best illustrated when you were in this large square filled with townspeople on every side, and you could spend quite a bit of time hacking your way through them, and maybe that would get you a little bit more money or something to level up later, but for the most part it doesn't benefit you to just lay waste to massive packs of smaller NPCs. And so to get around this, our character quickly takes a little left down a hallway and jumps up to a bell tower and rings the bell, letting the flock of people below know that the mass is out from the church and they can head home. And in their dazed, zombified state, they take that as an opportunity to get their butts out of Dodge and leave you alone, and you can go about your merry way. So there are sort of these implied emphasis on environmental-based mechanics and puzzles that I think we saw a lot of from Demon Souls, and I would be perfectly happy with that coming back, because that Demon Souls was a really big open maps that you could traverse through and explore every little nook and cranny to find all of the best secrets and level ups and new gear, and I wouldn't mind that coming back. And something else they could definitely do to draw it away from the Soul series is give us more almost storyline choices that we can engage with via saving different NPCs or deciding to let them die, because even in the early footage we see that there are different NPCs you can help fight off different undead creatures and monsters, and they can later come back and help you fight a boss. So I think that's one great way that they can delineate. And we've also got a lot of really beautiful artwork.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things that I've seen so far is the like setting. It kind of looks like this Victorian, slightly steampunky universe. Really, really unique to what this team has done before. I'm glad it's not all castles and knights and stuff.
Right, and as you float in from just the game trailer alone, you see almost like this alternate, evilly Transylvanian version of Big Ben, and you pull down into the city streets, and there's these abandoned, bloody baby carriages, and just tools strewn about everywhere, as if everyone kind of just abandoned their daily lives in haste. But suddenly there's this giant roaming mob of people with grisly, gooey dogs, and they're looking to have some blood. Well, we're not going to have any of that. And so this is definitely just drives hits the nail on the head as far as artwork is concerned. I mean, this definitely screams things like Van Helsing, Vampire Hunter D, all of those great iconic imageries that tell you that Dracula's nearby and we got to stab him. I don't think we're fighting Dracula, but it definitely gets the message across. And so I'm pretty excited for this. It's going to be a PS4 exclusive initially, and then they're probably going to release it on other platforms. And it's looking pretty good. It's beautiful. We haven't seen a lot of that from Software. Even with Dark Souls 2, they've still been releasing on the older platforms with PS3 and Xbox 360. And only after you mod the bejesus out of it on PC could you get it really glowing and smooth. So, hoping for really good things here from this newest title. Otherwise, we've been your hosts, Larry the Chupacabra and the Dread Pirate Saverick. Join us again next time, and until then, don't forget to like and subscribe, and toodaloo!
Bye, guys.